Hi, this is Bobbi from the Vespasian Warner Public Library, and I'm here with another tale from the archive, where we talk about objects and documents from our local history collection. Today we're going to be talking once again about Revere Ware. We've talked about them before in some of the really nice collections that we have here, and our Revere Ware room, which is our large meeting room on our lower level that was generously donated by the Revere Company. But today we're going to talk about a couple of things that might not be as well known. So we're all familiar with the symbol of Revere. We know they made pots and pans. My grandma had a set. I think everybody's grandma had a set. They also made other great things like bowls, and I really love this kind of Art Deco cream and sugar set. But what you might not know is Revere Ware actually does trace its origins to the famous Paul Revere, the Boston silversmith and the American patriot during the American Revolution. When the Revolution was over, Revere went into business with his son Joseph to form Revere and Son, which was a brass company and copper company, and then they merged later with another company to become the Revere Ware Company. Throughout the 19th century, they merged with lots of other companies and had a few different names, but in 1929, the board of directors decided to go back to their roots and rename the company, which I think at that point was World Brass, to the Revere Ware Company in honor of their founder, Paul Revere. In 1950, the Clinton manufacturing plant opened, and it was in operation for nearly 50 years. It finally closed in 1999, and it was the last Revere factory in the United States at the time. But going back to their roots, Revere is very proud, or was very proud of their roots to the American Revolution. Some things they gave to employees, like this great tumbler and mug set. We have a few of these upstairs that talk about the Battle of Concord and Lexington, because of course it was that battle where Paul Revere made his famous midnight ride yelling, the redcoats are coming, the redcoats are coming, to alert the militia that the war was going to start. And they even made these great fabric calendars. This one is from 1989. And you can see Revere on his horse, you can see the Liberty Bell, and everything to do with the American Revolution on that. We even, in our Revere Ware room, have a whole set of pictures from Longfellow's famous poem, The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere, that were issued by the Revere Company. And this kind of bridges between our two subjects. Revere made these little pins for their employees. We have a 5, 10, and 15-year pin to honor employees who had been with the company for a long time. And they feature Paul Revere on his horse for his midnight ride. The other thing that we have in our collection that is really neat is it gives us a glimpse for what it was like to work at the Revere plant. Some of you watching this video probably did, or knew people who did. I knew people who did, but it's just kind of fun to get that little glimpse of history. We have quite a few business records, including payroll and other kind of financial records, but we also have a collection of what was called the Revere Reporter. We have it from the 1980s, and this was a newsletter sent to employees. So this one from 1982 talks about a great picnic that they had with all of their families that had bingo and all kinds of food and just a lot of fun. They had a whole hog roast. And it also showed what employees did in the community. Because a little further down, again, this is 1982, we have a story about one employee, Becky Rich, who was concerned about children in the community who didn't have any presents for Christmas or had other needs that weren't being met, and how she worked with what was now the DeWitt County Health Department and the Clinton schools to find kids who needed clothes and socks and toys, kind of like a precursor to Angel Tree. And she was able to do a collection with the employees and sponsor a lot of kids in the community who needed a little extra something or who had basic needs that weren't being met. So I really think it's fun to flip through these and just learn what it was like to work at Revere, because it was such an important part of Clinton history. These things are available to view for anyone who is interested. They don't leave the building, but you are welcome to come in and look at them or even make copies if you're interested. So thank you for joining me for this tale from the archive, and I hope to see you soon.